Welcome to the Case Files of Belliver Holmes, a continuing series of audio adventures. Please follow me. Allow me to tell you an interesting story. Sherlock Holmes had a sister. She was born after Mycroft Holmes and before Sherlock. Her name was Belliver, and she has always been surrounded by dark mysteries. No one ever mentioned this Holmes sibling. There are no family photographs or documents with clues about her history or appearance. And there was only an uncertain address for Belliver, somewhere deep in the English countryside. Yet there was an amazing discovery about Belliver Holmes following her death. Down here, in the deepest crypt of the Spirituality and Metaphysics Institute in London, there is an old and unmarked file cabinet, filled with the accounts of Belliver's remarkable exploits as a detective. But unlike her famous brother, she solved the supernatural and occult crimes of the Victorian era. And it seems that Belliver was accompanied by her good friend Mary Watson, the intrepid wife of Dr. Watson. In these files are the stories of a Holmes and Watson that you can't even imagine. Ah, here's the file we were looking for. It's titled, "The Game is Now Afoot." And this is where everything begins. Springtime of 1891, on a mountain trail in the Swiss Alps.
Holmes! Sherlock Holmes!
Ah, it's Professor Moriarty, the infamous head of the International Crime Syndicate. Good afternoon. I expected you to appear here at the spectacular Reichenbach Falls. I also expect the officers of the Swiss Kantonspolizei to arrive shortly and take you into custody thanks to my detective efforts. Your story will surely end with you being hanged and the gallows in the Pentonville prison, so enjoy your last hour as a free man. Stand by me in the soft grass at the edge of this scenic cliff above the falls. Enjoy the fragrant spring lilies. Observe, Professor, how the snowmelt cascades in a turbulent roar to end in the bottomless depths of the chasm. A fitting backdrop for our final meeting. Like me, have you come here to admire the power of nature?
I have come to kill you with my bare hands!
As I told you in London, I'd gladly accept death if it also means destroying you.
I promise only one death today. Yours! I will send you over the edge and onto the depth, Holmes!
We shall both die now, Moriarty! Down into the abyss!
My name is Colonel Sebastian Moran, the right-hand man of Professor Moriarty. From a nearby mountain path, I have just witnessed my master, Professor Moriarty, tragically die at the hands of Sherlock Holmes as they grappled and fell into the depths of Reichenbach Falls. Damn you, Sherlock Holmes. Damn your fatal envy of Moriarty, a man who was ever more brilliant than you, a man to be respected, to be feared, to be loved. And damn your personal sense of justice, Holmes, a tissue of ignorance. Scotland Yard was right to distrust you, and your chronicler Dr. Watson peddling his lies. In revenge, I will kill Dr. Watson, and Irene Adler, and all those you have ever loved.
Now we are gathered together in this funeral chapel in the memory of Mr. Sherlock Holmes, a servant of the people and of the greater good. Dear Lord, comfort his beloved soul in your heavenly bosom, and let us remember him as we remember all that is good on earth. A moment of reflection.
I am an unseen shadow at my brother's funeral, hidden among other shadows in the chapel, forever dressed in black under a long black leather coat. My name is Belliver Holmes, the older sister of Sherlock, the dark and unmentioned Holmes sibling. I loved my brother deeply, too deeply to offer up only tears. So for his enemies, I will offer up only cold steel. I discreetly observe all the faces in the chapel. Moriarty's chief, Colonel Sebastian Moran, is not here to gloat over Sherlock's death. I wonder at this moment if he attends a similar funeral service for Moriarty with the other henchmen in a darker place than where I now stand. And I will deal with him, with all of them, when the time is right. And then my justice will go beyond that of the courts, as all true justice does.
Of course, you all know me, Inspector Lestrade of Scotland Yard and a dear friend of Sherlock Holmes, who was, in turn, a devoted friend of the people. Sherlock Holmes cared about the world and made it a much better place. Scotland Yard acknowledges the memory of this brave and peerless detective who never failed.
I'm Miss Mary Morstan, and I became a dear friend of the late Sherlock Holmes. He helped me in a time of need, for which I am eternally grateful. Through Sherlock, I also received a great gift, the engagement to be married to his close associate, Dr. John Watson. I love John, and we are to be married in a month. I desire this more than anything else. I approach my purpose in life. I am young and invincible. Destiny will never change my direction. Yet, I am afflicted by a deep, hidden pain. I struggle to suppress deep love for another, who is now a spectre, a ghost that will always beckon me. Here, at Sherlock's funeral, I hold back tears, afraid to betray that they are also for me.
I, John Watson, resolved to carry on the good work of Sherlock Holmes to the best of my abilities. I dearly miss, as do all of you, this icon of justice, whom I shall ever regard as the best and the wisest man whom I have ever known.
Here I am, in my small, tidy bedroom in London. Dawn sunlight streams through the window. Still Miss Mary Morstan. But tonight I become Mrs. Watson and enter into a new life with Dr. Watson. As I pack my small possessions and memories in a carpet bag, I am overwhelmed by my emotions. I am filled with personal joy, but conflicted by the untimely death of Sherlock Holmes. He was to be our best man. Oh, Sherlock's photograph deep in my desk drawer. I so miss him. We so loved him. My tears have stained it. My tears. And when I can sleep, I have a recurring dream that with my last living breath, I see Sherlock once again. Goodbye. Any minute, I expect a telegram from John to confirm that Inspector Lestrade has accepted our request to be the best man in place of Sherlock. I need to have John near me now, to hold his hand. Where is he?
You can no longer hide down here in the London drains, Sebastian Moran. Show yourself! This is Inspector Lestrade of the Scotland Yard, with a detachment of the Metropolitan Police. Have your revolvers at the ready, men, and be prepared to shoot him the moment he shows his face.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Point your lamps there. Come out, Moran. If you surrender and come out unarmed, we will try to take you alive.
Lestrade! It's me, John Watson!
What the devil?
Please don't shoot me!
Revolvers down, men. You could have been killed! What in the blazes are you doing down here?
The same as you. Thought you might want some help. I think Moran went down the side tunnel I'm now standing in. There are fresh footprints in the sediments.
Thank you for your help, Doctor, but I must remind you to communicate with the Yard before you decide to help us with the case. And this is your wedding day, man. Shouldn't you be preparing for a life of bliss with the future Mrs. Watson?
Right you are, Lestrade, but do hurry. This way. Moran is sure to have heard those gunshots. It will be hell finding him now, unless we are very quick.
Those bullets were meant to kill, Moran. Now please go, my friend. Be safe, and let Scotland Yard catch him. I will see you at your wedding.
Good luck, Lestrade. Make me a wedding present. Of the scalp of Colonel Sebastian Moran.
Right. Come on, men!
Oh, damn you, Moran!
Belliver Holmes. What a pleasant surprise. Here we are in the tunnels below London, together, yet separated a mere arm's length apart by a stout iron gate.
When I get this opened...
You can't. It's quite secure. Appropriately, we too find ourselves down here among the fallen angels, separated and impotent. You are truly gifted, Belliver. Only you could have found me in this subterranean maze.
Look at what I have, Moran. I've carved your name into the handle of my favorite fighting knife, followed by the word deceased. With this very blade, I will cut you into 1,000 narrow ribbons.
You are so unlike your brother Sherlock, where he was pure, masterful intellect. You are both intellect and passion. So alluring. I fear you, Belliver. And I love you. Because only one tiny inch keeps you from being another Professor Moriarty. God knows I feared him. And loved him. And I need not remind you, my dear, that fear and love are sweetly compatible.
You are sincerely deluded, Moran. Your ideas...
Our ideas, Belliver. Ideas that we share, and you can never deny it. Can you? Yes. I can feel the heat that still rises within you, my love. And you can feel the heat that rises within me. Shh, don't speak. Here in the deep, listen to our hearts.
Approach, my love. Bring your heart closer. Let me cut it out of you and cherish it forever.
Our opportunity for eternal love will come under more suitable conditions. I suppose the racket from closing this heavy iron gate will soon bring Scotland Yard, so I must be leaving.
I will track you, Moran, wherever you go. And when I find you, I will show you the sweet compatibility of fear and death.
Like the Egyptian goddess Aset, you seek to bring your dead brother back to life by sacrificing my life. It is a myth, my lovely Belliver. Forever a myth. Now I must go assassinate John and Mary Watson on their wedding night. They are going to die, and you are powerless to stop it. Blow me a kiss. Dream of me tonight, and only of me.
Moran!
Enjoy your honeymoon! Yes, you do!
Thank you all so much. We appreciate everything you've done for us.
Much thanks, dear friends, and a very special thanks to you, Lestrade.
Anything for the Watsons. Say, do you like this phaeton carriage exquisitely decorated in gilded acanthus leaves? I borrowed it from the evidence sheds at Scotland Yard. It once belonged to the infamous mass murderer, Baron Gruner.
An auspicious start to our honeymoon.
Congratulations to you both, Mr. and Mrs. Watson. I'll be your driver and security this evening. I'm Sergeant Joseph Harrison of Scotland Yard.
Pleased to meet you, Sergeant Harrison, and thank you.
Much thanks, Harrison.
John, Mrs. Watson, be well, both of you.
Charing Cross train station, please.
My pleasure, Dr. Watson.
Now for an enjoyable honeymoon in Penzance.
I do hope we have a little bit of excitement.
You are so beautiful, Mary.
Flatterer. Oh, what a memorable wedding and reception, John. So many friends, so much dance and music. Look, I've spilled red wine on my white wedding gown. What a marvelous evening we've had.
Here, I'll tuck this blanket over you against the chill evening. What will they say if the wife of a doctor caught her death of cold?
They would say that just before her death, Mary Watson bestowed her last mortal kiss on her cherished husband.
I so love you.
And I love you. He would never say so, of course, but Sherlock loved us both.
I don't think I will ever get completely over his death. I have these recurring dreams. Sherlock wakes me from a sound sleep bearing a broad grin and exclaims, "The game is now afoot." When I wake, the dream seems all too real, as if Sherlock were somehow still alive.
Excuse me, Doctor, but I think we are being followed. That handsome cab back there is pacing us.
Yes. Damn, I failed to remain vigilant. For a week now I've had suspicions that we've been shadowed by what's left of Professor Moriarty's gang seeking revenge. Harrison, let them know we've spotted them. Drive faster. Mary, take my revolver. You're a much better quick shot than I am.
Sorry to rip the wedding gown, John, but the tight sleeves restrict my aim.
That's my Mary. Harrison, take the narrow alley on the left. Only room for one carriage. We'll lose them. It intersects Tavistock, which then intersects the mass of traffic in the Strand. Then on to Charing Cross Station.
Yes, sir.
Mary, keep your aim on them.
Right.
I'm going into the alley now.
Well, my dear, we have the perfect start to our honeymoon.
Bit tight in here.
Where did they go?
I don't know.
We're into Tavistock Road, sir.
And Tavistock is crowded.
Good. I am turning west on the Strand to Charing Cross Station now.
There they are, under the street lamp not far behind us. I remember the beautiful chestnut horse with the white forelock. They're closing on us.
I swear that's Sebastian Moran. It must be him. Damn, there isn't enough traffic in the Strand to escape. Harrison, quick man, take the sharp left under Waterloo Bridge and cross the Thames. We'll lose them there.
Right, onto the bridge. I believe I've lost them.
Mary!
I'm fine. They're right behind us now.
I'll head towards the edge of the bridge, less congested.
Be quick, Harrison! That was close.
I shot out the lamp. More difficult to see us now. Ah!
Careful, Harrison. You're on the very edge of the bridge. Harry, shoot their horse.
Oh, John, no. I can see his revolver. Perhaps I can shoot it out of his hand.
Oof!
Ah! Harrison has fallen on me.
He's been shot. I'll lift him off of you. Shoot, Mary! Shoot!
I'm trying. John! The carriage reins are loose. Get the reins. We're out of control. Ah! The horse is going wild. Control the carriage or we're down into the river.
Damn! The reins have fallen underneath the carriage and onto the road. I'll just crawl under the carriage. Whoa!
John! Don't fall under the wheels.
I can't quite reach.
If I can just... John! I've shot the revolver from his hand!
Brilliant! I almost have the reins.
John! They've drawn alongside us! They're trying to force us off the bridge and into the river! Ah! We've collided! The wheel of the cab is broken! They're going berserk! Swerving on the bridge! Ah! John! They could knock us into the river! Oh, we've all gone over the side of the bridge and into the river! Oh, the poor horse! John! We're still alive, but we're getting close to the edge! Save us!
I'm trying. No! Oh, God, she's gone into the river!
John, please look over here, under the bridge, not in the river. I'm, hanging by my fingers to the bottom of the bridge structure and, may fall into the river at any moment. Would you mind pulling me up? Oh!
Sorry for the abrupt lift, dear.
Oh, John, hold me.
Are you injured?
Only a bruised elbow. Are you all right?
Fine. Let's see to Harrison.
Harrison!
Harrison!
I'm here.
He's bleeding! John!
I'll make a compress of my kerchief. It's not a serious wound, Harrison.
Thank you, Dr. Watson.
Harrison, you are very brave. Thank you.
Help me get him to the pavements. Constable.
I saw it all. The cab deliberately tried to force you into the river. They shot at you. Are you all right?
We're fine, but this man needs hospital immediately. Now, where are the bastards who attacked us?
At the bottom of the Thames. All right, then, who are you?
Mrs. Watson and Dr. Watson, associate of the late Sherlock Holmes. Hail a cab for Harrison. Stop, cab, you!
Oi, governor! Why have you stopped me? What's all this mess on the bridge end? Say there, sir. Why have you stopped my cab? I'm a surgeon in a hurry to my hospital. Oh my goodness, a wreck! Is anyone hurt? Good Lord, this man has been shot!
Not too serious.
I can get this man immediate care. Driver, straight away to Catholic Nursing Hospital.
Please help me lift him into your cab. Much appreciated.
Thank you, Harrison. Be well.
Constable, don't just stand there, man. Summon Lestrade of Scotland Yard. And please tell him that Sebastian Moran is now at the bottom of the Thames.
Yes, sir.
John, I could have lost you.
It's obvious now that they will take any opportunity to kill us. They will not stop. My, you're brave, Mary. You're as calm as ice.
I suppose I am. I should be shaking like a leaf.
When we married, I never anticipated that you would be subjected to deadly situations.
Oh, stop, John. I knew what I was getting into. It only makes me cherish you all the more. I got my wish. We did manage a bit of excitement on our honeymoon.
We must evade the remnants of Moriarty's charming society for as long as they remain at large. I will go to ground with Mycroft, Holmes, and you? Sherlock suggested something to protect you, though I'm reluctant to do it.
What was that?
Until the entire Moriarty gang have been apprehended, Sherlock insisted that you go directly to the country and seek protection with his sister, Belliver.
They will discover that I, Colonel Sebastian Moran, am not so easily defeated. They saw me plunge into that river and they will believe I drowned. It's all too perfect. But for the accidental shooting of Harrison, he did his best to deliver my victims to me. He's a loyal one, though. He'll keep his place in Scotland Yard and keep his mouth shut. Well, Dr. Watson, you were going to be the first to die, but now I will take you alive. Keep you long enough to watch the slow death of your new bride, Mary. Now there's an ideal wedding gift. A pair of tombstones.
Join us next time for The Wolf Pit.
Missing children disappeared in Woolpit village in Suffolk. Stop. Presumed abducted, possibly murdered by a creature of unknown origin. Occult detective Miss Belliver Holmes, please come quickly. Please come quickly. I imagine you are expecting us. I am Miss Belliver Holmes, and this is my associate, Mrs. Mary Watson.
Pleased to meet you.
Oh, I see. Well, I must apologize, ladies. I did not expect...
That detectives would be women.
Blimey! Another Holmes and Watson?
Holmes, consider this. The creature abducts a child, strides to a pile of boulders set before a sheer rock wall, and disappears without climbing them or returning.
And does it all in one smooth, athletic maneuver.
But that is impossible.
Correct, Watson. Yet it seems to have happened. What explanation is there?
Magic?
Ah, Watson, remember. When you have eliminated the impossible and all that is improbable, then whatever remains, no matter how supernatural, must be the truth.
Holmes, as you know, I'm not easily frightened. Except for right now.
And yes, Watson, I am also afraid.
The Case Files of Belliver Holmes, written, directed, and scored by William Anthony, a Runkee Productions audio adventure. Please visit our website at runkeeproductions.com. That's RUNKEE Productions.com.